Good evening, is Judita here from byebyestress. This is the Let's Talk About Stress conversation with the wonderful Yael Solomon from Israel. She's an Access Consciousness certified facilitator, and I have invited her to examine what is really behind stress and how can we overcome it, what goes in our mind and what happens to our energy, and to give us some really good tools from Access Consciousness, which we can use anytime. Here we go. Okay, Yael, thank you for coming to do this conversation with me. I am so happy. My name is Judita, and my business, byebyestress, is helping people to overcome stress. I have done a little research for the past half year where I was asking people what is their biggest stressor and how is affecting their life and how are they dealing with it, if it's effective or if it's not effective. So what I found is most people are stressed from work, like 50%, more than 50 was stressed from work and from job and from money, basically. Financial stress, right? Yeah, I am stressed from money as well, I have to admit. It's very normal in this reality.
It's very popular.
Very popular. Yeah. And basically, people have a hard time to surrender and trust. Trust, like trust in the universe that things happen for a reason and just relax and let them happen. So I was wondering if you, as an Access Consciousness facilitator, can answer some of my questions, which have been, which might be useful for the people.
No.
No.
Sorry.
Not answering questions, but
Not a good question. No, I'm joking. First
cool.
of all, thank you for inviting me to the call. And on that day when we were going on a live, I realized how much stress used to be a part of the way things are for me. Like the what's the word in English? It flew out of my brain. That's just how it was. Like, I'm stressed. Even there was a little bit of like being proud of it or fighting for it. So thank you for this conversation, and I'm really curious to what you found and what your questions are.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I am really not a stressed person, that I have a limited company called byebyestress and I can really deal with stress effectively. I meditate 2 times a day, I do yoga, I go for a run, I use the Access Consciousness tool, but still my shoulders were like this and my neck is so tight so many times and my back hurts. So I went to the chiropractor and he was kind of massaging my back. He said, "Wow, you are so stressed. What are you so stressed about?" And I'm like, "Oh my God." And that straight away I went into thinking about the wrongness of me. I'm doing something wrong, something's wrong with me. And oh no, this reality, there is something wrong, going on. So, okay, question number 1, how do we overcome this wrongness?
I think there's 2 questions here, because the one, which is very interesting and it happens not only with professionals, that almost, I'm going to say almost didn't pay attention, or maybe he never noticed, and up till today or ever, how we can become stressed when someone that is a specialist or that's his profession, or someone we're actually going to seek advice from, projects something onto us that's not necessarily that. So the moment he puts it on you on, wow, you're so stressed, how much does that solidify what he decided and projected it is, but doesn't allow you to actually be in question, okay, what is that? As we learn to practice with the tools of access consciousness, of actually using our body as a key or as a compass to access information that we are aware of, rather than us sticking ourselves into a box or other people sticking us into a box of, these are the symptoms, therefore here is your problem. And the moment that I conclude or see through one pair of glasses, here is your problem, I just made you wrong and I just made you a problem. And then when people say something like that to us, or parents with kids, how much do we go in the world thinking, oh my God, I'm wrong and I'm a problem? So I wonder if people are going to watch this that don't know any of the tools of access consciousness, but one of the tools we might be using is the clearing statement, and you can find more information about it at theclearingstatement.com. Essentially, when we speak about something and you can maybe sense it in your body or the density or bring up a question, it brings up this solidity, and we use the clearing statement to clear and move everything that's kept unconscious so that we can actually realize what there is or bring it up to the surface. And bring space in that density. So everything that was, can we destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, part and parcel, nine shorts, boys and beyond. So going back to how can we overcome the wrongness?
Yes. How not to go straight away to the wrongness of ourselves and of the situation.
So that's kind of a big question, and it meets us in different areas. It really depends on the situation, but I would say that the first thing we can do, oh my God, 1 second. My computer decided to ask if it wants to restart. And maybe it has to do with that. One of the ways we can restart or go into question or allow ourselves that pause, within that pause we have a choice available, because when we don't stop and notice or pause and notice, and you'll say something or the doctor will say something or the teacher will say something or blah blah will say something, and we'll react automatically, then there's no space for something else. But if we stop for a moment and not react and actually go into question of, is this really true? That is one of the ways we can choose to not go into the wrongness of us and actually check if what has been said is true for us or about us.
And how do we check that?
We just ask. We just ask. Or if you went into the wrongness, tell me about the moment you went into wrongness in your example.
Okay, so I was lying on the massage table, face down, and he said, "Oh, this is so hard, like the wire. You are so stressed." And I was imagining, oh my God, I am a fraud. I have this Bye Bye Stress company, and I am the most stressed person on the world.
Wow. So there's a few tools popping up here. First of all, light and heavy tool, you know it, right?
Yes, yes, I know what
Uh,
it is.
and for people that are watching us, in short, it's a way, there's many different ways to use this tool, but in general, what's light makes us lighter, makes us bubbly, is true for us, and what's dense and contractive is a lie. And we can also use it standing up with our body. Do you know what it's called when we use our body? A pendulum?
It's called muscle testing.
Muscle testing is another way. Or really use your intuition. You know, everyone that's going to watch this has their own knowing, or maybe methods that they know, or maybe access. So yes, you can get to know some more amazing tools that create so much more clarity. And with that, we can ask, okay, is this a projection? Because straight away you knew that something was heavy for you.
Yes,
Right?
yes. Not straight away, but maybe after 1 or 2 minutes, I was like, okay, maybe this is not true. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
I am not wrong. I was questioning it, and so I could have asked a question. For example, um, am I really stressed?
Am I really stressed? Or, you know, so what's funny is we always judge, well, a lot of times we judge ourselves for judging ourselves, or
Yes.
I could have, or the could have, would have. Um, and so even if just opening it now would create the space of, okay, am I really a fraud?
No.
Question mark.
No.
And really questioning that of, okay, interesting point of view. And
Interesting point
also
of view.
interesting point of view that I made myself wrong straight away. It's such a automatic thing to go into the wrongness of us. What if it was the opposite?
Yeah. Interesting point of view is an access consciousness tool that people can use for any thought, feeling, and emotion or whatever comes up, just to make it not so solid, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's really, well, there's so many people in the world and such a variety, and even in your story, okay, I have my point of view, you have your point of view, the doctor had his point of view, and the moment that we go into the aligning and agreeing, for example, yes, I am so stressed, doctor, and then we feel the stress and the tension, and you felt wrong, and we put on all kinds of things that also project on the business, then what does it mean about the business? Then who knows what you would have chosen the day after if you would align and agree with that point of view, or resist and react and say, no, I work with stress. I'm not stressed, and fight to prove the wrongness of him. Instead, if we allow ourselves to be in, okay, this is his interesting point of view and how he sees things from his point of view. And sometimes what we think about us or about other people is also just an interesting point of view without any significance. I also found that it was really a tool that prevented a lot of stress and tension in the body and fights in the family. A lot of the times where it was, oh my God, it's so amazing that my body didn't react at now.
Mm.
So there was another one, another, what
Uh,
else?
That's good.
Does that help?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, interesting point of view that he had that point of view. Well, because our point of view creates our reality, right? And we can adopt any other point of view, right? Like, for example, this stick, we would all have a different point of view on it from any side we look at it. So if mine is I am wrong, then yours is I am awesome, then why would I not take yours? So much better, right? Even more ease and less stress.
It's not about that it's better, but like it's funny because you hold that stick and I can see the other side of it. Or we're both sitting in different areas on the globe. So it's like, what do I see out of my window and what do you? And it's just 2 points of view.
Yeah.
Literally 2 points of view.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Doesn't mean it has to be like that. It doesn't mean the world is only what we see or the stick is only what I see. And it doesn't mean that my view is better than yours.
Okay.
Although it's fun to think so sometimes.
But yours might be more beneficial. It would create more fun and ease in my life.
Okay, then.
Okay. I have a big question, which, I already made a big projection about it, but there you go. I am really interested to see how you can actually advise someone who is struggling with um, surrendering. I will read you the comment from one of the people who reflects this emotion. So, how is stress affecting your life? I have a difficulty to get control of my life, which causes anxiety, and I have difficulty to affirm myself in what I want.
Mm. That's familiar.
Yeah.
That's really familiar. And for a lot of years, I wouldn't acknowledge actually what are the things that I desire. I went with that for a long time. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
So first of all, what's the value of being in the I don't know how to affirm what I want in my life, or I don't know? And could it be an invitation for you to, if it's between you and you, without going into what am I going to do with it or what does it mean that I have to do with it? Just for me, just for fun, what do I really desire? And if you're not there yet, then what if all the I don't want that we've all experienced in our short or long life, that I'm sure has been full of experiences, is the way to what we do desire. If we can look at what we don't and what we've been through, done that, done that. So can we look also at, okay, so what do I desire from that?
Because you know what you don't desire, you have done that shit.
Yes, and so I wonder, I know, like I recognize that for me, a lot of the times when someone else, especially if it was someone that's asking me like about my business, what do you desire? Suddenly I would curl up and not speak with a demand. So maybe it has to do with how other people receive what the person that's asking this question. And what if you were the only one in the world now, or between you and you, to actually ask what you desire without any consideration of who's going to hear it, what they're going to say about it, what they think about it. Because how much do we stop ourselves or deny ourselves or not allow ourselves or kind of go back even or keep ourselves quiet and not be us for the fear or whatever else we think is going to happen that other people are going to judge about it. So everything that is going to destroy and uncreate and all.
Yes.
Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, part and parkour, man, shirts, boys and beyond. Yeah, so what was the first part of the question?
It's difficult to get control over my life.
Yeah, so that's also another interesting one, is what is control? What is control? And if control, well, control to me will mean something else as control to you, as control to whoever asked the question. But if it's from a space that actually it's not the uncontrol or the lack of control, it's actually an awareness of what is possible, first of all. Maybe not knowing how to get there, but an awareness of the steps that are possible also to take, or an awareness to the fact that there are steps to take. Then it feels much better if we go, okay, so this and this and this is what's required of me now. Then we don't feel powerless or not in control. But I'm really curious, what is control?
Control, as I imagine it, because what is control for me? Control is something that I don't have, but I don't really need it that much, thankfully. But control would be something where I am, let's say, checking on my online business, on my Facebook ads, and see, okay, this many people seen it, and this many people have opted in, this many people bought something. And so, like overseeing all these are my little projects, and I am every day I come and I look at them and I know how they perform. That would be control. I haven't got that.
Is that control or is that something else? Maybe the judgment of that would be control.
Is overseeing it not control? That's what I thought I had to have. And I am not a controlling person, so I thought, no, I'm not gonna look.
Let's see what it says in the dictionary. First, control is the power to influence or direct people's behavior or the course of events. That's the Webster's dictionary.
Okay.
The ability to manage a machine, vehicle, or other moving object, and the restriction of an activity, tendency, or phenomenon. There's different meanings here, but I wonder how much control has been misidentified and misapplied here as actually power, and power that makes people do something. So everywhere we decided we have to force ourselves or force people, or we're being forced to do, instead of knowing and identifying how we can use control to our advantage. Can we just try and create it all?
Yes.
Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shirts, goes and beyond. So if control is the power to influence or direct behavior, then what if then do we already have that? Do we have the power or the potency to make it an influence?
To
make it
yes.
better?
We cannot make people do something, but we can do certain things which might change the situation, like ask questions.
None of us like to be controlled with the old definition of control. I'm sure none of us. So I wonder, another tool of access is, who does it belong to? Who does it belong to, the need or necessity to control? And we might be going to different directions than what they meant. So I wonder.
Yeah. Who does this belong to work? Can you just explain for people who don't know?
Sure, and it sure does have to do with stress, because how much of us are aware of information and other people? If we go into a room, or when we were young, did we straight away know what's happening with our parents, or what's happening with our friend, or what's happening in the room? Can we sense the vibe and say, suddenly we can ask what's wrong or what's happening? So with one of the tools in Access is, who does it belong to? And it comes from a point of view that we are like antennas or radio stations, and our body perceives people's thoughts, people's emotions, and that we're much more psychic than we give ourselves credit for. So we receive all this information, not always acknowledging it cognitively, and then our body can react in a way that we go into the story of what happened today, or suddenly we'll be upset, or suddenly we'll be sad, or suddenly people will have migraines or pain or different kinds of things. And the tool is to ask, who does it belong to? And see if suddenly there's space there, or like I just took a breath now, if there's that, even if it doesn't make sense. A lot of the times we are picking up on other people.
And then we say, return to sender with consciousness attached.
Yes. And even the acknowledgement or pause of asking the question, and like at that nanosecond, the shift occurs. But definitely sometimes it's required to ask it a few times and to send it back to with consciousness attached, and just send it away or off our body. The brilliant tool.
Awesome. Let's just say examples what we have sent away. Can you remember any?
Well, now I remember from now, or I can acknowledge now that I didn't know that we're going to schedule this call the day before elections. I didn't notice it. So in Israel, there's elections tomorrow, and everyone is stressed, and everyone's angry, and everyone's fighting. And now that you speak, I can sense some pain in my back. I'm sure they're not stressed at all. Not stressed at all. They don't know what to do with the government and other people. So as you reminded me of this tool, and I asked, who does it belong to? And there was this, then how much of what I am perceiving is just floating away. Stress and all the heaviness, really. So everyone that's watching us doesn't have to be cognitive. We can just ask everything you're aware of that isn't yours. You can send back with consciousness attached, which means we don't send the shit to the person. We let us free from that, and also it goes on and on and on and let the other people choose.
Beautiful. I bet
Yeah.
it's one really helpful tool with stress.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Actually, it's quite a cool story of how it was discovered. Dr. Dane here, that is used to be a chiropractor. He was working in his office, and someone came to his office with a sore back or painful back, and he just said to him, oh, first of all, he started getting like these thoughts about the fact that he needs to clean the windows or something like that. And he said, like, I never clean windows. Like, where's that coming from? And that man came to his office, and then he said, my back is so sore. I can't do this anymore. La, 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 la. And then Dane just said to him, who does it belong to? But it wasn't a tool yet. And suddenly the guy said, my wife, her back is always painful. And I don't know if that was the moment that it became, but that's how the awareness started of, yes, we pick up things, and our bodies have the capacity to heal other bodies. And I'm wondering how many people that suffer or say they suffer from stress and are stressed can benefit from using this tool, and from acknowledging, actually, how many superpowers do you have that you took it as a wrongness, and abilities to pick up on other people and receive information that you don't always have to do anything about it, which is another cool part.
Which are much, much stronger than anything that has been discovered yet. So don't look in the science journals for what we're talking about.
Actually, I think there's some things in science that like back it up.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't have an example now, but
I will have to have a look. I will write that down.
mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Definitely parts that can be correlated. And it's quite interesting to see, first of all, that our physical body doesn't finish where the skin does. So if we have an electromagnetic field and we're busy pretending that we're small and we end here, then than if we look it up. And we have this whole field that's receiving information. That's just one example of how that can work.
Cool. Who does this belong to? Scientifically proven. How does it get any better than that?
How much evidence are we looking for to use that as something to make us wrong or judge us? That's the one side of it. And the other side is that sometimes it's fun. Like, for example, what can you add to your business that will give people the information that would allow them to go, oh, okay, so I'll try it. I mean, meditation and yoga and stuff wasn't so popular once upon a time, and suddenly it's in high-tech companies and people that maybe the point of view was that it's not for them. It's too woo-woo. It's too airy-fairy, but
most of the people are waiting for the scientifically proven things. Yeah.
I don't have results now, but one of the tools that's amazing for stress and for restart and refreshing, rejuvenating ourselves is the access bars. That's a technique that involves touch, and they have started well, they haven't started now, they're actually already moving with that, but there is definitely results and things that have been checked to see what information can also go out there and maybe be an invitation for other people as well.
Yeah, I get my bars run actually every week. It's just so good.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, you too?
Not every week. Well, it changes, but last time I received the body process, which is another amazing part or tool of access, or one of many that my body really enjoys to relax and let go.
Would it be a contribution if we explained about access bars a little bit? What do you think? Okay.
Go for it.
Okay, access bars is actually a relaxing treatment where you just lie down for an hour or so, and the practitioner touches your head on 32 points, and these points, they contain the charge and the tension of the thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And when we touch those points, we release the charge, and then things start to move, and it's like cleaning out your house of all the old files. And then you have just more space and just a different feeling of what is possible in your life, and the problems suddenly don't seem that much of a problem, at least for me.
I was just going to ask if this is your experience, and but you also, I know, do have clients coming to you.
Yes. So how access bars works is a session which certified practitioners can do, and more than that, more importantly, you can learn it. That's why it's so popular, because people learn it in a one-day class, and some people say it's too easy to be true. Well, not everything has to be difficult, which is great. Right?
Are you sure?
Yes. Some things are easy and they're great and they're fun and make you money, and access bars is one of them. So basically, now the global price in our countries like UK is about £270 for the course. It's a great investment, which comes back to you massively if you choose it, because it's the beginning of change in your life, because you start to let go of the overthinking and the negative thoughts, and just to follow your intuition much more and go deeper into who you would like to be, and just open like a flower.
Hmm. Yeah, there's so many different experiences and stories of change, which is one of the sites that's cool to look on. Different stories, different experiences. Everyone receives the bars differently, and it's such a gift also to me.
Do you still teach access bars?
I do.
In Israel?
In Israel, I did also in other countries. There's not one scheduled yet, but I'm happy to fly for the bars or body processes or the foundation or any other thing that can be interesting.
The other great thing about access bars is that you can bring your kids, so it's great for families and it's free for kids. So it's like, especially when you have teenagers and you run their bars every 2 weeks or so, then they are more nice, and they can run your bars as well. How nice is it when you have kids and they just touch your head and make you feel better, isn't it?
I love looking at the different pictures that people share of kids that are tiny bodies, and they do that, and it's so special, the moments of connection and what it really creates in people's homes and with the kids at school. And then I'm sure it gets a lot of stress off the parents also. But also the other tools and the choice of using them really shows the results. Like I can say that my body doesn't react like it used to. And it's a very different place of looking at things, not 100% of the time. But there is a place there for ease, definitely.
So good.
Yeah. Are there any more questions from people?
Okay, so if someone wants to know more about access consciousness or access bars, they can check on accessconsciousness.com. They can click on access bars, find the facilitator there, and see there are like, how many now? 10,000 facilitators all over the globe.
Good question, but there's 175 countries in the most interesting countries, and also on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. So, but if you would like to have more information about access bars, or you would like to learn it with me in England, I am in Northampton, Aylesbury, so basically Buckinghamshire, Northamptonshire, but I can also travel. I like traveling. So message us. Yael is in Israel and she also travels. We would love to hear from you. And what else can we contribute to you? Please let us know so we can tailor our next videos for whatever you are struggling with, so to help you.
Mm-hmm. Tell all of us what are more of the things that your business offers?
Sorry?
What are the different things that your business offers?
Okay, basically, at byebyestress, I help people through yoga. I do online yoga now, meditation. So I can do, at the moment, I have an upcoming class, which is a 21-day meditation, where we will do a guided morning meditation starting in 2 days on the 18th of September. And it's basically to change, to build a new habit of positive thinking and using these tools. And it will be very energizing and exciting. Otherwise, I can do coaching. I do coaching for stress. So whatever is stressful for you, it helps if you talk to a stress coach as me and just go through, find different points of view, find where are you stuck. Most people are very stuck with fear, guilt, shame, blame. These are the emotions we can move away from, because that would be easier. Whoa. Right? You are here. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. And I really like the tagline of Access is empowering people to know what they know. So from my point of view, it's presenting the question of what is it for you that will contribute to you creating something different than what you're not enjoying now. Is it running? Is it sports? Is it yoga? Is it meditation? Is it bars? Is it something else? And really asking who can contribute. If there's a desire to do that, do I actually want to change it? And how would it be fun to? And what if it can be easier, not something that I like to fight for or struggle to change?
What if life could be suddenly fun and things are going to be easy? But that requires us to stop resisting and stop living from fear and thoughts and emotions. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yael. It was
Thank
awesome.
you. Definitely. Thank you all for watching.
And this.
Yes. Bye for now.
Have a nice evening.